My name is Ododineza. I'm a student at New Hampshire University under KEPRA program, and I'm going to present some of the factors that affect the transitional and sales when a business decides to do its market its product or its enterprise. So let's start by defining one of those factors. One is exchange rate. Exchange rate refers to the way of transferring like one currency into another to ease the process of buying and selling. And also here, when the higher the value currency makes the countries, it makes the countries import more cheap, less expensive, but the export is really expensive because the other currency really is not good. And also there are different determinants of exchange rate. We have inflation. When there is low inflation, the interest rate is high, but when there is high inflation, the interest rate is low, and that reduces the purchasing power of their citizen, and mainly it discourages the economic growth of a country. And also we have the difference in interest rate. Here the interest rate, the exchange rate, and inflation are somehow correlated, which means that they have the relationship. When one increase, the other decrease, so they have the relationship between them. So which means the higher the interest rate, the higher they attract the foreigners, because foreigners are interested in gaining higher than they invested. And also we have the terms of trade. The terms of trade, when there is free movement of goods and services, there is really high exchange rate, because people are free to move from one country to another, and they get profit from moving those goods, labor, and the other activities that can help them to earn money. And also here, terms of trade increase the revenue of exports, and it provides employment to people, and mainly there is exchange of ideas, which leads to creativity and innovation. And also we have the other term called trade barriers. Trade barriers are a restriction that a government set to control the free movement of like goods and services, but basically some means, not all products. Here we have different types of trade barriers. We have tariff. Tariff is when the government imposes a high tax to a commodity to discourage its movement, because when there is high tax, people are discouraged to produce a certain product because they can't earn more than what they pay in taxes, so they are discouraging them. There is also non-tariff. Non-tariff is the government controls the quantity of a given product to enter or exit the country. We have quota. Quota is a restriction that limits the quantity or the monetary value of a specific good or a service that move from a country to country, and mainly that product has an impact to people. For instance, like cigarettes, they limit the quantity of cigarette based on the tax. And also putting some restriction have the advantage and disadvantage. So let me start by the advantage. The advantage, it's a way of protecting like the citizen. For instance, if I'm limiting the quantity of tobacco, or if I'm increasing the tax of tobacco, or cigarette, it's reduced like the quantity or the quality of tobacco in the country. We all know that cigarettes cause lungs cancer and other diseases that are really bad. And also it increases revenue. There are some producers that never gives up, which means they continue producing it even though the tax is high. So when they bring that commodity in a country and they pay that tax is used to increase infrastructures. It is used like to build some schools, some roads, which is the development of the country. However, the tariff discourage really the economic growth, because if I'm limiting 2 to 3 products that have like a good standing in the economy of the other country, it is when I'm limiting it, it discourage, or it reduce the economic growth of our country, because we are no longer getting taxes from those products. And also it's discourage the job opportunity in the country, because if I'm limiting a company to operate in my country because of the product that they produce, I'm limiting, or I'm not giving chances to people who are looking for jobs. And also it doesn't promote product diversity. as in they don't. When I'm limiting some product to enter in the country, I'm limiting some innovation or creativity of the other goods in the country. And also the third factors is resources. Resources is any tangible product that help in the production of goods or services. There is types of resources. We have land resources. Land resources is like those natural resources like gold, diamond, oil or iron ore. And also we have labor resources. Labor resources is the effort of a human, like, or the effort of laborers, what they can do to produce a service or product. And also we have capital. Capital resources is in form of equipment, in form of money that can help us to produce that certain product or that certain services. And also we have entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is that idea that gives employment to people, that idea that gives like that exploit those resources to be used to produce a good or service. So thank you. That's all the factors that I have that can really determine the sales and the transaction among countries. Thank you so much.